Zach McPherson, Tay Gowan, Kerry Vincent Jr., Jacoby Stevens, Marcus Epps. If you're sitting here wondering who are most of these guys, you're not alone. The Philadelphia Eagles are at a standstill at one of the most important positions on the field. We don't understand who our safety is going to be. We don't know who our CB2 is going to be. And Philadelphia Eagles fans are rightfully so nervous. Are we going to go back to the years where we had to deal with Nolan Carroll getting burnt? Are we going to have to go back to the days where we overpay cornerbacks once Darius Slay leaves? I'm going to say this. Let's chill out. We good.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today I want to talk about these cornerbacks. I want to talk about these safeties. I want to talk about what we're going to do at those two positions. Now, realistically, if I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view, no pun intended, the safety position is probably more of a concern to me than the cornerback room is, just because we are only really looking for a CB2. And I'm not saying only like that's easy to find, but we found Steven Nelson last year. So there still is some guys out there that are viable options at the cornerback spot. You know, some older guys, some guys in their mid 28s, 30s, something like that. So I wouldn't be mad at that. There's a lot of options there. So I think that could figure itself out. Obviously, Bradbury is a guy that some people are talking about. Before we get into all this, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 4K. We would love for you guys to join that ride. Now let me get back to my spew because I was about to go. I was going rapid fire, but real talk. So there's a lot of cornerbacks out there on the market that could still be gotten. Bradbury is a guy, like I said, that we were, a lot of Eagles fans are bringing up right now. Look, this safety room is something that really does concern me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not on the surface something that's a little bit worrisome. But there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in that room. There's a lot of guys that can move to safety. There's a lot of guys that are playing safety right now. There's a lot of secondary players that we have and some hybrid guys. I brought up a Jacoby Stevens in the intro just because he's a guy that realistically came in as a safety, right? You get shades of Jalen Mills, right? We moved his position, him to cornerback, but Jacoby Stevens, who we've had on the show before, he was more asked to be a linebacker. Maybe they move him back to safety. Maybe they have a hybrid role in mind for him. Maybe there's other guys with that same thing. But look, safety, I think, is a outsourcing possibility. There's guys like Chuck Clark that make a lot of sense. The Ravens just drafted Kyle Hamilton. The Ravens just signed Marcus Williams. So you beg the question, where does Chuck Clark fit into all that? And then you talk about the Jalen Reagor fit in the Ravens system right now. The Ravens don't really have any wide receivers. And I know a lot of people are probably going to say nobody wants Jalen Reagor, but go look at the Ravens wide receivers and you'll probably be saying a different tune. Obviously, they got rid of Hollywood Brown. That was probably their leading guy. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Chuck Clark is a possibility. Maybe there's somebody we're not thinking of. Maybe there's somebody in this free agency that they really like. I think that's going to be the probably most intriguing battle, right? Not to get too ahead of myself. We'll start talking about training camp battles in a couple weeks. But right now I'm thinking, safety and cornerback, that's going to be very, very intriguing to see what happens and where they go with this, because the Eagles have gone through this so much. And that's what kind of made me worried that we ignored the position when Kyle Hamilton came on the board, and we were in that position to have a safety for viably the next 10 years, right? You never know. Obviously, every draft pick is a boom or bust thing. You never know what's going to happen with these kids. But at the end of the day, we all felt very comfortable in what Kyle Hamilton could be, and they passed up on it. And there was not many other options in this draft, and there was not many other options in this free agency. So we do have Reed Blankenship that we took on, an undrafted free agency. But Are any of these guys going to really stick? Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? Because if you know, please let me know, because I would love to stop worrying about it. But those are really the only two. But outside of that, I feel like we're young and getting better everywhere else. I'm a little bit more happy about this defensive line. I feel like with Jordan Davis now on this team, the maturation of a guy like Milton Williams, Taron Jackson, I think that we're going to see a different defensive line. And Fletcher Cox kind of on his last year. I think he's going to go crazy, just kind of put everything out there, leave everything on the field, so to speak. And then you got Brandon Graham coming back. So I feel kind of excited about this defensive line. Obviously, the offense is everybody's young, so damn near everybody's young. I mean, you could point out Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, but outside of that, everybody's young. Everybody's young. So I'm excited to see what this offense does, to see the maturation of that. But this defense, that's the only thing that worries me. That's the only thing that's a bit worrisome, is that safety group and that cornerback group. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of bodies. We have a lot of bodies at that position, at those positions that it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I mean, you know, look, they said they want to get young, and I understand that, but you can't, every position can't be under 25. You're just not, I mean, you've never seen a championship won like that. And like I said, I'm not trying to win a championship this year, but we're not, you know, we're not going to do it. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say we're not going to do it with the guys we have, because I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to sit here and be pessimistic to the point that, you know, I'm going to just write them off. Kayvon Wallace might step up. You know, like all these guys might realistically take that next leap. And having such a multiple defense, as they call it, that might help everybody. That might lessen everybody's load. It might make everybody's job a little bit easier. So I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. If somebody tells you that they know exactly what the Eagles are going to be next year, they're lying to you. It's simple as that, because there's so many question marks with this team, you know, from the quarterback down to the punter. We don't know what's going to happen with this team. So I'm excited, though. I think that there's upside within every decision. I don't see the negative, you know, aspect of any of these decisions. I think that we're going to figure out what this team is, and I think that we're strapped with draft capital. Money-wise, we're going to have some money coming in. So I think that we're in a good position to figure out what this team is and then act upon that, make actionable plan, and figure it out this next offseason. And really maybe make a run. Maybe this year we make a run. Maybe we already got it all figured out. Who knows? Who knows? I really don't know, but I am damn near excited. But I've been seeing everybody asking me about the safety and cornerback room, so I wanted to answer this question basically in a video. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, you know, that be coming into the premieres too. If you're in the premiere right now, drop something in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in here talking, so I appreciate you guys, man. This is always a lot of fun. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere, this is for you.
Yeah. Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season hit, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.